Also, what?
Radio voice.
I wonder how. Oh, wow. That's pretty awesome, actually.
The walkie-talkie or something.
Breaker. 10-4, good buddy.
Breaker 19, Breaker 19.
Yeah. You do sound like CB radio.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Hard Reset, a Cold North production. I'm Patrick the Law Morris. Joining me this week, we have the tenacious Tim Miller
Oh, hello.
and the Chinese. Oh, actually, Tim Miller coming at you through a new microphone. So
Hello, yes. My
Enjoy-
voice is super sultry now.
enjoy the sensual tones of Tim Miller and a Chinese food eating Nathan Crumrine.
Sesame tofu, homies.
Sesame tofu, is that like sesame chicken but not as good?
I don't know because it's been so long since I've had sesame chicken, but sesame tofu is like the bomb.
I need to eat some Chinese food too. Coming up this week on Hard Reset, we will be discussing actually two stories regarding Crystal Dynamics, and then the PlayStation Plus games that were announced and are now available, as well as a little bit of a Grand Theft Auto leak, and then I'm not going to call it a leak because what happened to Twitch was a flood. So you can be looking forward to that. There will not be trivia this week because, full disclosure, I did not prepare a doc. So no trivia this week, but I promise it'll be back next week. But before we get to all of that, I want to know what you guys have been playing this week. Nathan, tell me what you've been playing.
Well, earlier today I was playing the Battlefield Beta 2042. Pretty good. It's pretty buggy. It's pretty great. Love it.
It's pretty buggy, but good.
How buggy
Yeah, like-
is it?
I mean, the only bugs that I've seen, like the two that are kind of annoying, are one, like, I really miss games that let you, like shooters that let you go prone, and Battlefield is one of the only ones that's like just kind of kept with that. You can go prone if you want to, and it's
Oh, that's gone
so
away?
if you go. No. Well, I mean, it's gone away in like a lot of games, like.
I guess it's not in Far
I
Cry.
don't know.
Was it ever in Far Cry?
I don't know. It's been something that's not used in a lot of first-person shooters these days. At least, unless it's like more simulator or something. As far as my experience has been.
Okay.
But anyway, so I've been enjoying like sniping and going prone, and then also like there's a mechanic with like obviously the light machine gun where the recoil is a lot more manageable and everything. So that's been nice, but if you go prone in like a certain spot, then your character will just keep crawling forward and backwards, and it's just really obnoxious.
Oof.
So that's a bug that's been weird. And then the other one, the more annoying one, because the past one you can just move, you can just crawl a little bit and then you're out of that weird spot. But this one is like you'll have random floating guys like that are. It looks like they were sitting in like a Jeep or something, but there's no Jeep. They're just sitting there floating. So that's fun to
Flying.
deal with because you'll
They're
shoot.
flying
and they're
in
not
a
moving.
sitting in a seated position.
Yes. But the thing is, like, they'll just be stuck there, and like you'll shoot at them, won't get a hit marker. It doesn't. Excuse me. It doesn't seem like it's a bug where that's like an actual player anymore. It seems like maybe the Jeep or whatever vehicle is actually gone, and like their bodies just still stayed there for a while. I don't know. It's weird. But you shoot them and nothing happens, and so you can't tell sometimes if it's like a character or something that you, or like an enemy, or if it's something you ignore. It's just kind of weird. But for the most part, everything else has been cool. So,
All right. Well, I mean, that's at least it's like it's promising, right? It's a beta, but it's promising.
yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed my time with it so far. I mean, I just today sniped a guy who was driving towards me in like a military Humvee, and I sniped him out of it right before he got to me. So that was pretty rewarding. It's always fun in Battlefield. So
Nice. And you're a pretty big Battlefield fan. So, which one, how excited are you, like, on a scale of, say, like, 5 to Bad Company 2?
what do you mean?
Well, 5
Like-
was notoriously a bad Battlefield game.
I'm I don't know. I'm stoked to be able to replay stuff from Bad Company too. That's probably one of the biggest reasons I'm excited.
So,
because Bad Company is my favorite, so
all right.
pretty excited.
So you're like would you say you're like a Battlefield 4?
I don't know. Like this scale is just totally subjective. Like,
Yeah, this is a terrible scale. What have you done?
I think it's a good scale because I invented
it's
it.
like a Battlefield Modern Combat. Battlefield
one
2
is
Modern
that?
Combat
Oh.
PlayStation. Excitement. That's where we're at.
Okay. All right. I know exactly what that means. All right. Looking forward to it. I think I'm going to buy this one. So, I think I'm going to buy it. All right. Tim, tell me what you've been playing.
I made the mistake of deciding to finish Sekiro this week.
Ooh. Shouldn't
And I
have done
did.
that.
I finished it. I beat every boss that there is to beat.
Wow.
You sound
And-
really like not stoked about this.
It was a choice. It was not a fun choice. It was a slog, but
Not the smartest thing you've
Yeah.
ever done.
not the smartest thing I've ever done. No, I've done it in preparation for Elden Ring because it's coming out in a few months, and I wanted to be like, okay, I've beaten all the other From Software games. The only one that's kind of ever eluded me. Let's just get it done. And it got a lot easier once I actually learned how to effectively block.
Oh,
And
interesting.
there was a lot of good stuff about the game. There's one boss fight in particular against a giant dragon that's probably one of the best boss fights I've seen in a game in a long time. But then the
Okay.
last boss, the final boss, is probably the most bullshit thing I've seen in a game
Ooh.
ever.
Honestly, it might not. So I don't know what the final boss fight was, but I do know about one specific boss fight in that game, and I'm gonna say it would have to be pretty major bullshit to be even the biggest bullshit you've seen in that game, because that ape boss fight, holy shit!
Oh, that was nothing. I beat that in like 2 tries.
When they drop down the second one, though, fuck
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so the second one, that's the second time you fight that ape. So you kind of already know his patterns.
Oh, okay.
And
So you're
honestly, you can
experienced with him.
Yeah, and then like the second one is basically just a mix of his first patterns before you cut his head off in the original fight, and then him being him with his head cut off. So it's really just figuring that out and then throwing a bunch of firecrackers at him because they don't like him. It was not that difficult.
Okay.
Honestly, I'd say the demon was worse than that, but even that can be cheese to throw him off a cliff, which is kind of funny. So
Interesting. Okay. So this was the one that had kind of eluded you. Where would you say, but you've played all the other ones, right?
correct.
Where would you say this game falls on a scale of, say, like Dark Souls to Bloodborne?
So your scale is terrible because Dark
No.
Souls 2 is the worst one.
Okay, Dark Souls 2 to Bloodborne.
Bloodborne is definitely my favorite. Absolutely.
Yeah, I know that.
Then 3, then Sekiro, then 1, then 2.
And what about Demon Souls?
I haven't beat. I finished that, but I don't know if I count that one as much. But I guess I'd put that one just behind Sekiro because it's like not. It's more antiquated. The systems aren't as refined, so it feels a bit clunky at times, even with the remake.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I mean that's
still-
kind
it's
of expected though.
it's a fun entry. Like if you've got nostalgia for it, definitely pick up a new one. But I don't know. It's one of those ones that I could be like, skip it, kind of.
Oh wow.
Especially
So
if you don't have a PS5.
so that one might come in under Dark
No.
Souls 2.
No, absolutely not. Dark Souls
Oh,
2
wow.
is just shit.
Oh wow, okay.
Nothing is worse than that game
All right.
in
So
the series.
what about I noticed you conveniently left off Jedi Fallen Order.
But I haven't been playing that. And that
I'm-
is not a Souls game.
It is.
It is not a Souls game.
Well, it's a Souls like.
It's not a Souls game. It was not made by From Software. It is not a Souls game. You can take your opinion and shove it up your ass.
You forgot also Hollow Knight.
And you can
Yes.
shove that one up your ass too. That's a
Hollow-
Metroidvania.
Well, I mean, you also forgot Metroid Fusion.
All right, now we're getting into a completely different style of game.
Wait, we did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You forgot Battletoads, dude.
Oof.
Hmm. You know, I'm also forgetting Go Fuck Yourself.
Tim, you're clearly not a pro
I thought you had
gamer.
that listed there.
No, I
Yeah.
had to reiterate
You
it.
did.
It was
You
just-
said shove
it
it
was-
up your ass. So,
Yep. I mean, hey, have you checked your butthole lately?
Tim, you are clearly not a pro gamer if you don't include Battletoads on every list you do. So, sorry. I'm revoking your card.
All right. I think I might need to leave this podcast.
No. All right. You can have your card
yeah,
back. You can
yeah.
have your card back.
This is done. I'm done. Bye.
No.
Everybody.
No.
Nope.
Ah, he's gone. Oh, he's back.
Straight up sleep.
Okay.
Gotcha.
You can have your card back.
Good.
All right. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to hear you talk about Elden Ring. Tim,
This is my gamer card.
yeah.
You can't take it away from me.
I mean
You're gonna have to explain that.
it
No.
could have been okay. So for the listeners, Tim just held up his Krang Brain Lannual Championship belt, which means he won our group's championship tournament this year. And so he gets to hold on to the belt for the entire year. Granted, a significant part of that was my doing because I told my wife to just continue playing Tim because I knew she would lose and I didn't want Nathan to win. And so
Hey, game of psychology. I could still win in that too. There you go.
Nathan was winning handily, like by a lot.
I was easily like.
I think
the
you were like
MHP
3 stars up.
most hated player.
Yeah, MHP, that's what you were. So yeah, so that's Tim's I guess his rite of passage, but he'll lose it next summer, so we don't need
Yeah,
to
you
worry
think so?
about it.
We don't even know what game we're playing next summer yet, so
I'm thinking Mario Tennis Aces.
What?
Yeah. I just want to play something I
No.
can win. So, all right. I personally, so it's out. Far Cry is out today, right?
I don't know. Is it?
Yes.
Yes. Far Cry is out, so I can talk about it. I have been playing Far Cry all week.
Or was that yesterday?
It came out yesterday?
According
Last
to
night.
Google.
Oh wow.
Like last
Okay.
Anyways, not important.
Far Cry 6 came out. I've been playing it all week. I have like 45 hours in it at this point. It is I don't even know. It's interesting. It's pretty good. The combat is great. The stealth is amazing. The shooting is always fun. Driving is like it's serviceable. But the story is just god awful. And I did review it, so just quick personal plug. Go check that out at goombastomp.com. But I don't know. there was something that like, so in preparation for a different piece that I'm writing, I went back and Ethan and I actually watched these together today. We watched the death scenes for all the villains in the previous Far Cry games. And there is something that I just feel like, and it occurred to me in Far Cry 4, and Nathan, I'm about to eat my words a little bit. So do your best to contain yourself and not gloat about this, okay? I have severely undervalued Far Cry 4. It did a really great job of capturing a tone that I think was consistent from Far Cry 2 through 5 that 6 did not have. And that tone alone of like, it's like since 3, Far Cry is like very gritty, but also very silly, right? And 6 just does not have that. And so 6 feels kind of gritty, but also pretty plasticky. If that makes sense, like almost artificial and fake.
Not silly. So it's like,
I mean, it's silly, but it doesn't have the grit that I love in like 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I think that kind of undercut, like the idea that this, I don't know how to say this without people saying I'm sexist. The idea of this like stereotypical Twitter college girl leading a revolution and taking down this fascist dictator who used to be a general in the army is just so unbelievable that undercuts the tone and makes him not as threatening of a villain as he should be. And I don't think that that's his fault. I think that that's her fault. And ultimately it's the writer's fault for writing a bad character. But he just doesn't like really ring, like in his own scenes, he crushes it. Like Castillo is awesome, but he doesn't have, there's not like that ominous threat looming there the way there is in like, 3, 4, and 5. And so like when Pagan Min shows up, it genuinely is this feeling of like kind of creepy. And in 6, Danny, the playable character, really doesn't have any interactions with Castillo except for at the beginning and then the end. And there's no like, they're not running into each other midway through the game. And so there's no like moment of that tension that like Pagan Min brought with him every time he was on screen.
Not just on screen, over the radio all the time.
Oh yeah, like, and he would like talk
Like,
to AJ
yeah.
directly.
Yeah, which is kind of something that, speaking of Deathloop, Deathloop did that really well too, where Juliana's just like always commenting on the things you do, and so there's like this kind of like relationship that they have, and they did a really good job of that in 4. So I don't know if that's there in this one or not, but if that's not there, then that's kind of a shame.
It's not, and like that relationship, and like now that I'm thinking about it, because whichever protagonist you choose in 2 and the Jackal have several scenes together throughout 2, and then Jason and Voss have several scenes together throughout 3. AJ and Pagan have several scenes together. Rook and Joseph have several scenes together. And so I feel like the interaction between Danny and Castillo was just totally lacking. And that I think that was a huge part of why there wasn't, like, he still had scenes peppered throughout the game, but it was just like, they were just cutscenes that Danny wasn't present for, which you know, like I said, it just wasn't ominous like the previous games have been. So
Interesting.
but gameplay's great, and like the story is so bad, but I've played 45 hours of it. I'm gonna go back to it. Like I'm gonna dip back into it for people who buy it for Xbox to play co-op with them. Yeah, I mean it's just extremely satisfying. It's super fun. I really want to explore everything because I didn't get a chance to like go everywhere and cover the whole map, but I would say main story is probably about 40 hours. Then like if you're going to do everything, it's probably every bit of a 80 or 90 hour game. So
Very nice.
Okay.
overall it gets a recommendation. I would say don't expect anything on the level of like 3, 4, or 5. Yes, Nathan, I'm putting 4 up there. But it's good. So, but that's what we've been playing, which means it's time for the News It Now.
The news show. It's the news show. We are now a news show, so we bring you news.
Okay, so News It Now. First of all, Crystal Dynamics. So this was like a week and a half ago they announced this, but Crystal Dynamics is now partnering with the it's not the coalition, the initiative, to help. They're like co-developing Perfect Dark. I'm actually not super worried about this, and I wanted to get you guys' takes because I think I understand. I think I know what the like just instinctual reaction to this is. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of open the floor to you guys. Tell me what you think about this.
I'm pretty excited about it. Perfect Dark's a game that's kind of been dormant for a long time now. At least the original game on the N64 I played. I loved it back when I was younger. So seeing it come back is great. Crystal Dynamics has done a great job on the Tomb Raider trilogy. Marvel's Avengers not so much, but
I mean that's a totally like. Sorry to interrupt.
it's different teams. That's two different like.
Well, it's a
things of
totally
games.
different type of game.
Yeah, absolutely. It just didn't work for them.
Right.
But I think they should be able to pull this off. No problem.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Nathan, before we dive too deep into this, what are your thoughts?
I sadly can't say much because I never played any of the Perfect Dark games, and I never played any of like the Tomb Raider trilogy either.
Oh, you didn't play the new
so-
Tomb Raider games?
Nah, nope.
You should. They're really good.
At least play the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, the second one I think is the
have,
best.
Like literally zero interest in those games for some reason. So
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
So Tim, I think that we have the minority opinion because I think that the like gut instinct is telling everyone, oh no, if they need help, that means the game is in trouble. And I think that's a reasonable deduction, but I also think that it's so easy. Like the easy thing to do when you're a new studio developing, like reviving or rebooting a massively popular IP that's a big deal for your parent company. The easy thing to do is to just not say anything and try to just like, okay, we gotta fix this. And I think the hard thing to do in that situation is to admit, you know, hey, it's not quite where we want it to be right now. It's not in trouble yet, but we want some help. And so we're going to go get some help. And that I think is just like, it's sort of just a come clean early and fix it now so that it's not in trouble later on down the line.
Yeah, and also you got to think pooling their resources. They're probably going to come up with something even better than one of them could have on their own. So
Well, exactly.
I'm trying to look on the positive side here for this.
Exactly. And the guy who's directing Perfect Dark for the initiative used to work for Crystal Dynamics. And so
Daryl Gallagher, right?
I think so.
Or is that Daniel Newberger?
No, it's
I don't know.
Daryl. It's
one
Daryl
of the-
Gallagher.
Okay.
So I'm like, honestly, this just so much of this just reeks of humility and humbleness to say, hey, it's not quite where we need it to be. We think that these people that aren't even in house, we think that this third party is the right team to help us get there. So we're going to go work with them and we're going to fix the game and we're going to make a good game. And like, I don't know, maybe I'm just being super naive. Maybe I'm like, maybe I'm just a Microsoft fanboy, but like, I think that this is just Microsoft doing more of what Microsoft has been doing for the past couple years. And just, eating that, like taking a giant slice of that humble pie and saying, we need to figure out how to turn this ship around. And I'm more excited for Perfect Dark now than I was before this announcement.
Yeah,
So-
I agree. It's when it was first like announced, I was like, all right, cool, new Perfect Dark, yada yada yada. But now, like as we're getting closer to completion, and it's like, all right, we got multiple companies working. It looks like Microsoft is making a big deal out of it, which they should be.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It gives me more hope that they're doing the right thing here to actually get this shit done. And it
Yeah.
might even be a time crunch thing, like they want to try and get it on time for a certain
For like
event
a 20
or anniversary or something.
22 maybe. But no,
Yeah.
and I totally agree. And on top of that, like, it's God, I had a thought and then I lost it. But I think that I think it's the right move. I was pretty hyped. Oh, I got it back. I was pretty hyped for the game at first, but like just everything in the build up to this game just screams to me that they are looking to have Perfect Dark be on that tier with like Forza and Gears as like this is a reason to buy an Xbox kind of game. So I'm pretty stoked. Any final thoughts on Perfect Dark? Nathan, I know you haven't played any of those games, but how do you feel about the Perfect Dark game?
I mean, I literally have no thoughts. I
Just zero excitement for it.
I have no frame of reference for.
Did you ever play GoldenEye back in the day?
No, I
Oh,
didn't.
all right.
What the
Well,
fuck,
now
man?
you really don't have a frame of
I
reference.
didn't
then.
Yeah,
know very
All
many
right.
people that had an N64. Like I knew Gabe, and that was pretty much it. So I don't have any nostalgia for that system or any of the games on it. So
Wow. So you're not
it's
even hyped about the N64 coming to Switch Online.
No, I am actually, because I'll get to play like I've always wanted to play through and beat Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but I don't have like any nostalgia for playing GoldenEye with my friends or anything.
Are you
So,
telling me that you've never beaten Ocarina of Time?
Yeah.
Wow,
I've started
Nathan.
it many times.
Oh
And
my
it's mainly
god.
because like, I never had a good I don't know. I just never had a great emulator for it or anything. So like I feel like the Switch is going to be the perfect
Yeah.
system to play that on.
Nathan,
So-
I need you to make a promise to me right now. I need you to just take this pledge. You will stream all of Ocarina of Time. And if you
No.
stream it, I will watch it. I will watch you
I
play
don't
all of Ocarina of Time.
I wouldn't
I
commit to
don't-
that.
I'll be like at the
I-
doctor's office and I'll see Nathan is streaming and I'll be like, gotta go, doc.
But your kidneys are failing.
Look, I made a promise.
No, I mean I don't know. I feel like it's going to be the kind of thing that I play like before I go to bed, and it's because that's where my Switch is right now. Like It's next to my bed. I play it before going to sleep. That's where it is. I feel like that's gonna be where I enjoy Ocarina the most. But
Ugh.
I will play it, and I will
Alright.
tell you my thoughts and feelings.
Okay, I guess that I can't complain about that because, man, I'm just so, I don't know. I'm so hyped. Like, I'm more hyped for you to play Ocarina than I am for Perfect Dark, honestly, at this point.
Oh,
But-
that's fair.
I think that says a lot about Perfect Dark.
I mean, I'm pretty fucking hyped for Perfect Dark. I think that game is going to be sick. But yeah, okay.
I believe you.
Moving forward, we have the PlayStation Plus games. Now, usually we wouldn't just discuss this as a news topic, but it seems to piss a lot of people off. So
Really?
I just thought let's touch on it a little bit. Just kind of take the temperature of the group. PlayStation Plus games this month: Hell Let Loose, which is a new, I think it's like 50v50 World War II shooter, or maybe it's 100v100, but it's a big number versus a big number. Mortal Kombat 10, which is the first one of this new trilogy of Mortal Kombat, or I'm sorry, the second of this new trilogy of Mortal Kombat games. And then PGA Tour 2K21. So
Okay.
the reason for the controversy, people are pretty pissed off, is because we already have access to Mortal Kombat 10 if you have a PS5. So if you have a
Do we?
PS5, it's in the PS Plus collection.
Uh,
We already have Mortal Kombat 10. Hell Let Loose is a
Okay.
PS5 exclusive. And so like PS4 owners aren't going to play that one. And then on top of that, it's a new IP. Like it's totally unfamiliar. Nobody knows it. It's a totally unknown quantity in a genre that people are pretty, even though this genre has been gone for a long time, the World War II shooters, people still seem pretty pissed off about it. People still seem pretty, I don't know, exhausted with it. That they just don't. They're like, oh, another World War II shooter, and it's like, dude, it's been like a decade plus since we were getting a World War II shooter regularly. But anyway, and then PGA Tour 2K21 seems kind of boring, and I'm kind of with people on that. So
I mean, it's golf.
yeah,
One of the most boring sports unless you're playing it.
yeah.
So
Okay, so Tim, you have a PS5, so I want to throw to Nathan first. Nathan, just give us your thoughts on this, and then tell me, how do you feel about the controversy? Do you feel like this is like, are people rightfully upset about this, or is this people just being stupid?
I mean, am I gonna download any of these? No. Not. I mean, I would, if I had a PS5, I would probably get Hell Let Loose, and I wouldn't be upset about it.
Okay,
That's the only one I would probably actually play. I'm not a huge fan of the Mortal Kombat games, and why would I play professional golf when I have golf with your friends?
Yeah,
So
golf with your friends, everybody's golf, Mario Golf. Like, there's so many golf games that are better right now. That's like, why do I want a golf simulator?
it's very niche, I think, that game.
Yeah.
Whereas like the other two are more broad to me. I mean, any first-person shooter, most people I feel like can pick up, and then a fighter, that's pretty standard. They're both like very standard kind of games, you know. But the golf one is definitely a little.
Well, and I mean, like, I don't know. Correct me if you guys like. Feel free to disagree with me if you do, because this is maybe a hot take, but golf being an individual sport just doesn't make sense to me as to why you need a simulator for it. Because like NBA 2K, a simulator is appropriate because I'm never going to play in the NBA. MLB The Show, appropriate. I'm never going to play in the MLB. Madden, FIFA, it all makes sense. Like Forza, Gran Turismo. It all makes sense because I'm never going to be able to do those things. But like golf, if you're not making it arcadey, I'll just go play fucking golf. Like,
Yep. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to hit it
or-
out of the bunker 7 times anyway, so might as well make it real.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know. It's funny because I actually shot video for a golf tournament like a week ago. So it's funny like having to talk about golf all of a sudden, but I would not be. I mean, again, like my interest in golf kind of stops at mini golf. So it's like the if I were to say like, oh, I'll just go play golf, it's like I would just go drink at Top Golf with my friends that like golf while I'm the worst person there and make all of them feel great about themselves. Or like I'm gonna play mini golf with my family and goof around. So
Yeah.
it's like that's where my interest is with golf. So it's very I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, like,
I
to
don't know.
just to be super clear, in case anyone is listening to this, I'm not a golf hater. I actually really enjoy playing golf, but I don't want to play a golf simulator. I'll just go out and fucking play golf. Tim, as a PS5 owner, how do you feel about this?
I'm pissed off, honestly. Like, yeah, Hell Let Loose, 50v50 action, cool, great. You've given me Battlefield 2042, which is coming out in a few days.
Yeah, and you're just
Which
about
is-
to get walloped by Battlefield.
Yeah, so
That's
that's
like next month though, right?
Yeah,
that's soon-ish. So it's like whatever. PGA Tour, as you've said, it's golf. I'd rather play Mario Golf, or I'd rather go out and actually play golf or mini golf. Any of it, no thanks. As for Mortal Kombat X, I wasn't really aware that was part of the PS Plus lineup because I don't really look at that all that often. Because a lot of the games on
it's
there
the-
I've either already played or just don't care about.
yeah,
But yeah, now seeing that, it's just like, all right, cool. So I got one game that I even would remotely play, which would be Hell Let Loose, and it's going to be obsolete in a month. So yay, cool. Thanks, guys.
yeah.
See you next month.
Just sort of like a hooray. And I mean, I think that the fact that this is something that's actually been discussed quite a bit since it was announced is like, I think that is indicative of the fact of like how successful Game Pass is. Because when was the last time you heard someone discussing, oh, check out what games are on Games with Gold this month? It's like, nobody gives a fuck about Games with Gold because we have Game Pass. And that's what we're looking forward to. And so I don't know. I think that this is indicative of a larger problem for Sony, but maybe I'm
I
wrong.
mean, I still grab the Game with Gold games. Yeah, I mean, they're not great anymore as they
I-
used to be, but like, I'll still grab them. It's a free game.
I grab them, but I basically never play them.
Yeah,
But-
no, I usually don't either. It's usually,
and-
all right, cool. They're in my library. I'm
But,
good.
like-
Back to Game Pass.
Nobody talks about them because we're all playing Game Pass. And so it's I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic for sure. Okay. Tim, you know what? I'm gonna pick up Hell Let Loose. We'll play that one together. Moving on. Take-Two Interactive. They had a little bit of a leak recently that implies, now take this with a whole shaker of salt because we've heard this one before, and also, you know, we get Grand Theft Auto. I feel like Grand Theft Auto leaks are just like fucking a dime a dozen.
They're inevitable.
Yeah. But supposedly a remastered trilogy of Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas will be coming in fall of 2021. It is October.
Yeah, that's right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that to call it fall, you got to hit end of November is the latest.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, it would say holiday 2021 if it come out that late.
yeah. And so, like, if if this is real, I'm thinking it at the very least has been delayed internally, which is maybe why we don't have an announcement yet. What do you guys think? So first of all, let's just start. Do you guys think this is real?
Yes.
Okay. Nathan?
I think it's a reasonable bundle. I think it's a realistic like desire for people to want to have, and like it looks. I mean, they have the classifications on the website and everything. It seems like it could be legit.
Okay. So now the more interesting question, is this something you guys like would want to buy and play through these games again?
Considering I never did in the first place, I probably will.
Whoa. Tim.
Funny, I'm on. Considering I never played them in the first place, I probably won't.
Oh, really? You didn't play them either? What the heck, guys?
I mean,
I
like,
made a little bit of San Andreas, but that's about it.
yeah, I mean, that was my experience too. My parents wouldn't let me buy them, so I'd always play them at a
Exactly.
friend's house. So it was like,
Yeah.
all right, here I go. So now I'll
Wow.
actually finally be able to play through all of them.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for you, Tim, because San Andreas, like, people are gonna hate me for this. 3 is good, Vice City is good. San Andreas is where Grand Theft Auto got like really banging. That's crazy to me that you haven't played, that neither of you have played these games. I'm a sucker, so I'm gonna buy these games for sure, but I don't think I'll play all the way through them. Just sort of buy them and dick around, which is honestly,
Nostalgia.
yeah, just for the nostalgia. Mostly what I did with these games the first time around anyway. But I don't know, just the idea of Big Smoke. You picked the wrong house, fool. Like that's, I'm into that. So, I hope
So
this
long
is
as I can
real.
get my number 45 with cheese.
Yeah.
That's all I know about that game.
Can I get a number 45? Can I get a number 29? He just orders and orders and orders. That's so funny. Damn, CJ, you should have kept up with the train. There's so many memes from that game. I could just go on. But I don't know. This is interesting to me because you're right, Nathan, that this does look pretty credible, like pretty legit. But we've seen plenty of other Grand Theft Auto stuff that looked legit, and we just don't hear anything.
True. Like, and not even just Grand Theft Auto, but like Rockstar, like the
Agent.
God, what was it? Huh?
Agent. So they announced a game called Agent that was going to be a PS3 exclusive. They announced it. Tim, you know what I'm talking about. No? So they
I don't
announced
remember
this
this one.
game at like E3, like 2008. And it was supposed to come out it was supposed to come out in 2011 or something like that. And it just never came, and it never came. And they kept like, people kept asking them like, hey, is Agent coming out? And they were like, oh yeah, we're working on it. And then it just sort of disappeared. And it never came out.
Oh, hey, here's this article off something that I'm reading. It just said Rockstar Games purges Agent from their official website.
Oh, nice. What do you know?
I was gonna talk about like the zombie models and stuff that they found in the source files for Red Dead Online. And
I
how it
wasn't
never
aware
went
of
anywhere.
that. Yeah.
They've been slowly adding like a big library of zombie models to Red Dead Redemption 2, and people, you can find it, it's there, but when we thought that we were going to get something over the Halloween, like last Halloween, oh shit, it's October now. And I mean, there were certain events and stuff that you could do, but they weren't like zombie related, really. So
Right.
this,
Well,
I'm kind of now. Jeez, I forgot that it's about that time. Let's
I-
hope, friends.
there's hope. Nathan, now that you mention it, you know what else I had totally forgotten is Mexico is fully rendered and interactable in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yep.
But you can never go there. Like, you're not supposed to be able to go there, but people can glitch into Mexico and they can run around. Everything is there. And they can, like, go into buildings. Everything is fully made. Why? Why did they take the time to go remake all of that if they're never going to let us go there?
Yeah.
It kind
gonna
of
let
just
us
leaves me thinking that, like, maybe they thought Red Dead Online was going to be more successful than it has been.
That's probably a lot of it. They probably had plans for it, but then when they saw the sales numbers and all that stuff weren't nearly as good as what they were hoping from it, especially compared to GTA Online.
Right.
They
Maybe
most likely canned a lot of it.
Maybe they saw, like, revenue, because they've done that before with GTA 5 was supposed to get single player DLC, but it never happened. Okay. I'm just further, we're all coming up with examples of why I actually am starting to believe that this isn't real. Or if it is real, I think that maybe it's going to get, like, we're never going to hear about it and it'll just get quietly internally canceled. And that'll be that. We'll, in like 3 or 4 years, we'll look back and it'll be like, hey guys, remember when we were going to get those Grand Theft Auto remasters? Like, I wonder if that's going to happen. So it's,
I could see that.
yeah, which is a shame, because I think that these would be really cool games to be able to revisit. So, moving on, because we've been on for about 45 minutes. So, we're going to clip right through this one. And then Tim, you're going to talk to us about some Twitch. Apparently there's another Tomb Raider game on the way. Crystal Dynamics has been teasing a new Tomb Raider game in the early stages of development as part of the franchise's 25th anniversary this year. This all comes from kitguru.net. So now, according to a job posting on LinkedIn, the studio is beginning to recruit for the project, calling for applicants with a, quote, similar cinematic style to the latest Tomb Raider reboot and Rise of the Tomb Raider, end quote. We kind of brushed on the new Tomb Raider games earlier. Tim, I know that you played through 1 and 2.
Correct.
Did you play through 3?
I did not. On your recommendation not to.
Yeah, I didn't finish 3. It was not very good.
That's fun.
How do you feel about a 4th one, Tim? Because Nathan, you are pretty well decided you have no interest in these games, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
The only thing I want from this next one is an older, more mature Lara, who's actually, a badass and not like a little girl still screaming every time she gets shot at.
I think that they've done a pretty good job, like, maturing Laura throughout the 3 games, and even in 3 she had like a pretty good, like, arc of selfishness and self-righteousness that definitely had to be tamed, but that was kind of character development. And so I would agree with you if this was the second one, because I think that there was a little too much of that in the first one, and I was just like, okay, when are you gonna be the Tomb Raider though? But
I felt like that. I felt like that still like existed in the second one pretty heavily.
Really?
Like, yeah, like it definitely showed her that she was getting better at it, but she was still like very green.
Yeah, I guess
like
so.
I want to see a much more seasoned Lara this time around. Like maybe like a good 5-6 year jump.
I think that we will, though, because she has gotten progressively more experienced, and that has shown with each new game in this rebooted series. So I think she probably will. And like by the 4th game, it's like, here she is. And I don't disagree with you. I think it would be cool to see, a 5 or 6 year jump between 3 and 4. Overall, I'm just really happy that they're doing this, because I kind of got the feeling that, like, after 2, I kind of got the feeling that they were, pledging, like, that they were feeling forced into a box of like, okay, this is going to be a trilogy and that's it. And the fact is like, that's not what I want from these games, because there's not enough character development that I'm like, oh yeah, I wanna go on a journey with these characters and then leave. There's not enough there for that. So I'm just like, just give me more silly adventures. And if that's what they're gonna do, I'm totally down with that. This is not an Uncharted thing where they like lull me in with the adventure and then like, psych, actually you love these characters now. That's not what Tomb Raider is to me.
Fair enough.
So,
Fair.
so hopefully, Tim, I totally agree with you. 5-6 year jump, I think would be totally awesome. And I'm just happy that this game is happening at all. So now it's time for the topic of the show. All right, topic of the show. We're going to be talking about the Twitch flood. We're not calling it a leak because it's a flood. Tim, you said that you were going to lead this one, so I'll let you take it away.
All right. So for those unaware, a few days ago, a massive leak, which I guess we're calling a flood now, occurred that leaked so much stuff from Twitch's back. This leak included 3 years worth of creator payouts. So if you ever want to see how much your favorite Twitch streamer made,
yeah,
you can go look that up. You can look up comment history. Pretty much every chat message ever sent, ever.
Wow.
Is also included in there. The source code for the entirety of the website for both mobile and desktop, as well as the video game console clients.
That's bad.
Yep. Proprietary code for SDKs and internal AWS services for Amazon that have been used by Twitch also leaked.
Wow.
There's also documents about an unreleased Steam competitor from Amazon Game Studios. So Amazon is essentially looking to create their own Steam-like platform.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
No, that doesn't surprise me either. But information on it is now out in the wild.
In fact, hearing about that one, I think, wow, I'm surprised that doesn't exist already.
Yeah, honestly, I'm surprised it's taken them this long.
Yeah. Sorry, continue.
Of the last 2, we have a couple bits of data on Twitch properties such as CurseForge, which I really don't know a whole lot about. I think that's more of a modding community thing, though.
Okay.
Like for Minecraft and a lot of games. And then Twitch's own internal security tools. They're red team tools that they use to try and penetrate their own network. Those tools are now out in the wild.
Okay. And then there are people, Tim, you may or may not have information on this, so I'm not going to hold it against you if you don't. There is a group that's taking responsibility for this.
There is. I don't have that up right now. Give me one sec.
There, if I'm remembering correctly, they're like basically doing the whole like, anti-rich people kind of thing. Just, I don't know. I'm looking for what they said particularly. But this is, I don't know. One of the things that kind of I thought was weird on this was I saw so much of the reporting was based around like, oh, this is how much this streamer makes and this is how much that streamer makes. And it's like,
yep.
I don't know. To me, it's like, big, who cares? Like, who?
Yeah, exactly. That I'm with you there. Like, fuck off. They're entertainers. Like, I see so many media outlets being like, I can't believe these video game people that are playing video games are making so much money. And I'm like, it's the same as anyone who's making a movie or like doing anything like that for entertainment. They're getting paid to do it too. So fuck off, I guess.
Nathan, what were you saying?
I was saying like the bigger issue is security. Like, I mean,
Yes.
I didn't know if it was going to affect my Amazon account at all, but I changed my passwords for both Twitch and Amazon.
I
was
did the
like,
same.
"Eh."
As of right now, they are saying that passwords and address information on Twitch users hasn't leaked, but they also don't know the full scope of what has truly been.
Yeah.
right.
These things haven't leaked. We don't know what has been leaked. So how do you know that these? Oh no!
Yep.
Like,
Yep. And actually earlier today, Twitch came out with a statement about the thing, basically saying that the breach was caused by a server configuration change that exposed some data, which at the time allowed a malicious third party to access.
wow.
Damage control, I don't know. I expect to hear more details on what actually happened eventually, as the investigation is still ongoing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I don't know. I don't put a whole lot of faith in what they have said.
Oh, Amazon
Just
lies through their fucking teeth. Amazon is like,
Oh yeah,
I mean, who's more evil than Amazon? Facebook and like maybe Twitter.
Google.
And oh yeah, okay. Honestly, I would say I would put Google and Google and Amazon right neck and neck. It's to me, it's like Facebook, Google and Amazon, Twitter, Apple, basically everyone else.
Your mom's
Microsoft.
secret cookie recipe.
No one will get that.
It'll be leaked like everything else. You can't avoid it. But yeah, the biggest thing I think from this that worries me, and I know this is a lie. Like I can just read you this quote from the people claiming responsibility. The entire point of the hack was to foster more disruption and competition in the online video streaming space.
Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, no, you guys did it for fun. You did it because you wanted to.
Well, you did it to
You
get
guys-
attention, and
Yep.
like I mean, maybe this is like boomer energy. I don't know. I think that that's a stupid way to phrase things, but whatever. But like, that's not how you go about things. That's not how you go about things. You like, if you're concerned, if you truly are concerned about those things, find a way to object legally, because this is just shitty behavior.
Yeah, it's gonna get back to them. It's gonna be traced back. They're gonna find who's responsible eventually.
And it just this just pisses me off that people are like, oh yeah, look at how good of a person I am for, compromising millions of people's data and like making millions of people have these panic attacks about like, oh my god, did they get my password? I need to go change every single password I have. Hopefully they don't get my social security number by getting into my banking information. Like you're not a hero. Stop trying to act like you are.
Yep. Fuck you, hacktivists. Fuck you.
Exactly.
The next big thing, I think that came out of it was the code,
real quick,
the source code. Yeah.
Nathan, did you have thoughts on like the statement from the group?
I don't know. I'm kind of just in agreement with you guys. Like, it doesn't make sense to. I mean, if you're wanting to create competition, then you're caring about the public having something better quality or better. Like, you know what I mean? You can't, with the same breath, say that you care about giving people something better and then also dealing their
Compromise their
shit
data
at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Work.
Like,
It's like, I don't know.
you can't act as though you care about competition for consumers' sake while also compromising their data. And ultimately, who's going to be the victims here? It's not going to be Amazon. It's not going to be Twitch.
Right.
It's going to be us.
Yep.
Right. I mean, like, I don't know what's going to happen after they have that data either. It's like, you can say whatever you want, but it's like, we don't know. Are they going to sell the information? Are they going to?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's already that like what different streamers are making and everything, and it's like it's not helping them. All those people are just regular people, pretty much. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know.
Well,
It's
and
just kind of shitty.
I mean, kind of going back to what Tim said about the entertainers, like they are entertainers. On the flip side of what Tim was saying about like there is a lot of big media talking about, oh my God, I can't believe these people make this much money. But then on the flip side of that, there are a lot of like people in the audience, a lot of people who watch Twitch who are saying like, oh my God, I can't believe my favorite streamer makes this much money. And like, did you think that they were just like you? Did you think that they stream 10 hours a day and then they go work their fucking day job? Like, what did you think? Did you think that these people weren't rich? Because they're filthy fucking rich. Do you go to the movies and think that the movie stars in these Marvel movies that you watch are just like you? Why is there this separation in people's heads? And it's like,
Yeah, I don't,
At this point, I don't get at all, because if you spend any time in any popular streamers like in their stream, if you spend an hour in their stream, you can easily gauge how much money they're making by the amount of subs that come in that hour, the amount of donations that come in, the
Yes.
amount of bits that come in.
just
you
average
can
based on
gauge it.
how many hours they stream to,
Mhm.
you know, dole it out over a month. And then you know their monthly income or a rough estimate.
Yeah, it's like if you spend any time in any Twitch stream, you can figure out how much person. It's stupid. The fact that people are like crying about this is like, oh, I want to make money. I've been on Twitch for years and I don't make this money. Yeah, fuck you. You're not doing a good enough job. You're not.
Right. And that's another thing that like people are like, oh, they're just sitting there playing video games. It's like, no, I mean, they are sitting there being entertaining. And like, I know that takes talent because I've tried it and I am so bad at it that I don't even want to try it again. But I do want to keep trying it, by the way. Come watch me at twitch.tv/TheLawMorris. But like, it's like Tim is good enough that he has, Tim, what do you have? Like 100 subs at this point?
Yeah, something around there.
And so it's like you are followers, right? And so it's something.
Oh,
like
I've got
that.
way more followers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're good enough at it that it's like you understand the level of talent it takes to be entertaining, just sitting on camera, coming up with shit off the top of your head and being entertaining. And for so many audience members, I don't know. It's just, it's a very entitled audience. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with just gaming in general, because it's the same people watching Twitch that are also bitching about, you know, games not having enough DLC, or like games not having enough content, games costing too much, and games monetizing aggressively. And it's like, you have to accept something. Games
Yep.
can either cost more money and you get like, and they're going to be bigger and better, or they're going to monetize aggressively and they can be bigger and better and stay the same price, or they're going to stay the same size and stay the same price. Like you do not get to complain about all of them. And so it is just this very entitled audience. And I feel like at this point I'm ranting. So sorry. Moving on. Tim,
for everyone listening right now, this podcast episode is DLC, by the way.
yes.
Oh man,
It's DLC.
Damn
You
it.
only get this one. We actually had a contract with Patreon. They backed out at the last minute, said that we were wanting too much of a cut. So we are exclusively on OnlyFans. And this will be an OnlyFans exclusive episode. Tim, keep going with this
I wasn't-
story.
why wasn't I told about this? I would have sent many feet pics.
Yes.
What? Look at me. I'm not wearing a shirt. Where did you think this was going to go?
I don't know. I thought you were just hot. I mean, you are hot, but like temperature wise.
I've been
all
I've
right.
been rocking a
The
full on chub this whole podcast.
Well, you haven't been pointing your camera at your dick, so I haven't seen it yet. And if you have, I'm sorry. I'm just not paying attention.
I haven't
so-
worked for it.
By the way, if you want to see the video version, check out our OnlyFans.
Oh boy. All right. Next we are. I guess the next thing would be the source code. I think is the big thing that I got. With
Yeah.
because this could be used by anyone to create your own version of Twitch. Congratulations. It's right there for you.
The tools are there. It's now a toolkit that
Yep.
anyone can copy. And I mean, I don't know. I'm sure that Amazon will like pursue legal action against someone who tries to do that shit. Like if anyone tries to do that shit in the United States.
Property, right?
Yeah, it's intellectual property, but you're going to have people in like, you know, countries where maybe the laws are a little more lax and the government isn't super interested in protecting Amazon's IP.
Yep.
Or, you know, countries like China where you know, these platforms that are not Chinese owned are just outright banned. And now there are going to be these countries like China who suddenly have a massive leg up. Like this is a breakthrough in technology for the third world, I would say.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but I think that could certainly contribute to the group's efforts to try and make it more competitive. I understand that stand, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like the code would be very easy to manipulate and change to make it be like, all right, you're gonna try and sue me over this? Sure, I'm just gonna copy it into a new document and adjust things as I need to, and
yeah, just
there you go.
Just
I'm
make some
good.
changes and say, you know, it's not mine, or it's
use it
it's
as
mine,
a base
it's not
and
theirs.
move through it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
reverse engineer. Like even other companies here will be able to reverse engineer it. So,
Yep.
I don't know. I just this again. Maybe this is super naive and just like stupid of me, but I just think that shit like this, people who do shit like this in the name of like equality and, you know, in the name of equality and like fighting for the people and shit like that. It's like, don't get me wrong. I want equality and I want equality of opportunity. I want their, like, we need to kill the income discrepancy in our country. Like there's a lot of problems, but the moment you stoop to the level of those people that you're fighting, you're no better than they are. It doesn't matter how it doesn't matter, you know, how altruistic you are. If you have to stoop to their level and cheat to get this shit, I don't want to use it. Oh,
I'm sorry. I thought you had more than that.
No, that was it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you on that standpoint. And now the people have the tools to do whatever they want with it. So we'll
Yeah.
see what comes out of that. I'm sure a few new streaming sites will probably pop up over the next year or two.
And they'll get shut down. Amazon's going to be playing whack-a-mole with some streaming sites for a little while now.
Probably. So the last big thing I think we need to talk about are the internal security tools. This is pretty much their entire Red Team Tools toolkit was released. So all of their penetration tools that they used, which honestly, it's concerning because these tools can now be used elsewhere, and they created these tools to try to get through stuff, and I'm assuming that they've fixed everything that the tools tried to get through, but I'm sure there are still multiple websites out there that are still susceptible to these tools that they have created now that they are out there.
So what do the
can
tools
go
do
use them.
exactly?
It's just penetration testing. Like, it's stuff to break through firewalls, break into the systems, to get into the back end stuff.
So it could show
In like the
potential-
most basic terms. Yeah.
Yeah, it could show like potential issues that they had, like
Yep.
upcoming, like things that they've been trying to work on currently. So people could probably get in more right now. I don't know. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's not good at all.
Yeah, I'm not a huge security expert, so I don't fully understand the scope of this, but as far as I can tell, it's really, really bad.
Well, and I mean,
in this case,
of the three of us, you have a degree in IT, so
I mean, fair, but like these tools, like these are new tools. This is stuff that like wasn't really covered. Yeah, you can use these like tools to like the only tools that I'm super like familiar with are ones that like decrypt hashing and all sorts of stuff like that. Nothing like super high tech.
interesting.
These are proprietary or these are third-party tools?
These are proprietary tools that they created to test their own system, and now can be used against other systems around the world.
Oh god.
Oh, that's a whole nother thing too. Jeez.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's a huge security risk.
I mean, again, I am not a fan of Amazon, but this isn't the way to fight Amazon. Like,
No, not at all.
if you're a part of the group that did this, shame on you. And Amazon, like, I'm not going to be like, oh, poor Amazon. Like, no, they shouldn't have let this happen. But you're not a hero for doing this. And you think I guarantee you, and now I'm just monologuing to those people, but like, I guarantee you that they think that they're heroes, but they're fucking not. So
I'm at this point, I'm more intrigued in Twitch's response, what they're going to get out of this investigation. Because at least for security with me, what I've always thought, it's not a question of if, it's a matter of when and what you do to recover from it. So I guess it's
Right.
just waiting on to see what they can do to recover from all this and whether we can make things better, which I hope
Yeah.
Twitch definitely does.
yeah, for sure.
If you were
Or
listening
else
to
I'm
this
moving to
podcast-
YouTube.
If you're listening to the podcast and you had part in the Twitch flood, then you're not a hero, and other people are gonna find you and take you down. It's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be us. But be ready.
And also check out our
Yeah.
OnlyFans. The first month is free.
Yes. yes.
If you are listening, if you want to come on the podcast, yeah, we'll hear your side of the story. For
Yeah,
like 5 minutes.
I mean, the odds
I
of
will
anyone
talk over
listening to
you.
this, the odds of anyone listening to this, I think, are extremely low. But if by whatever reason, if by whatever chance and for whatever reason they hear this and they want to talk to us, please get in contact with us. We don't actually have an OnlyFans. Don't tell our other fans. Contact me at the,
But you
at the
just
Law
told
Morris.
them.
Ah, god damn it! The OnlyFans jig is up.
How could you do this?
Not if we.
We were
start
about
an
to make
OnlyFans.
thousands of dollars off nothing.
We were gonna
do you
make
mean?
thousands of tenths of cents.
My shirt is still off. What do you mean for nothing?
Ugh.
All right, that's fair. We got to look at this beautifully sculpted man.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up there. That's all we have for you guys tonight. If you liked what you heard, make sure to comment and leave us, or to subscribe and leave us a rating and review on whatever platform you found us on. Don't forget,
Check us out, the OnlyFans.
check out our OnlyFans. You can find everything we do all in one spot over at coldnorthpro.com or coldnorthpro.onlyfans.com. And we'll be back next week talking about
All
whatever
me.
happens. It's all Nathan's feet and butthole. Just ultra close-ups of his butthole.
No, I'm not that kind of girl.
Like, it's, the new iPhone 13 Pro has a macro feature. I've been taking so many macros of Nathan's butthole, and they cost only $4.99 a month. All right. We'll be back next week talking about whatever happens in the next 7 days. Until then, reset.
Where did you get those photos?
Oh, what?
Don't ask.
While you were asleep, Tawny let me in, and she actually held your cheeks apart, and I got in there with my phone. Click, click, click. Just. Also, you should wash your ass more. It's like just soap and water and just wash your ass.